Hello and welcome to my manga collection tour for 2024. It's been exactly a year today since I did my previous manga collection tour, so it's now time to do another one. My total volume count is now at a total of 1,797 volumes, which I don't know how much of an increase that is on last year. I'll have to go back to the previous video and see how many I said it was then. But as always, we're going to start down here with the light novels under the bed, move to here, then here, 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 and there's also a few things in the cabinet over there as well. So I've got a stool ready because I'm too short to reach the top shelves. So yeah, let's make this safe now. Let's get on with it. So first thing down here, it might be a little bit dark under here, I have the complete series of 7 Seeds in Japanese, all 36 volumes, because this series is not licensed in English and I really like the anime and I would really love to read it. So if a publisher would really like to pick this one up, that would be great. I would love to see it licensed. It's my number one license want of anything. So yeah, I have the entire thing in Japanese, but obviously I can't read it. I was going to read it online, but I don't really have any motivation to read digital, so I never got round to it. So I just really hope we get this in English someday. Anyway, it's there because it won't fit here. Because my light novel's increased. So let's start at the top with Bond and Book, Volume 1, The Devotion of the Surgery Room. Haven't read it. I've read about, I'd say 95% of my manga, but only like maybe 15% of my light novels. Yeah, I got this one because I like the sound of Volume 2. Each volume is like an individual story, but I thought I might as well start with the first one. I just haven't read it yet. This up here is just the Death Note. Then Bride of the Biomaster, I have read the manga. I have yet to read the light novel. My Happy Marriage 1 to 7. This is up to date. I have read the first 4. I've read the first 4. I haven't read 5, 6 or 7. Then my favourite light novel, Sugar Apple Fairy Tale 1 to 6. I've read 1. I haven't read 2 to 6 yet, but I love the anime for this. The anime for Sugar Apple Fairy Tale is amazing, and it covers content up to Volume 6. So when Volume 7 comes out, I think next month, that'll be the first one with new content in. But yeah, this is definitely high on my to-read list when I finally finish Iron Frame. But yeah, I've read the first one. I haven't read 2 to 6 yet. Then another one I really want to read is Your Format. I have 1 to 3. I know there's, I think, 6 volumes of this out currently, but I haven't bought any more until I read these ones, because I read the manga again. I adored the manga. I thought it was fantastic. It was one of my favourite reads of that year, even though it's currently only 1 volume. But yeah, I bought the light novels because I loved the manga, but again, I haven't got around to reading it, but I really, really want to. So yeah, these are also like, these 3 are like top priority for reading when it comes to light novels, when I finally get around to it. Then we have Agents of the Four Seasons, Volume 1. The manga for this one is coming out soon. I'll most likely will read that first, because I haven't read this one. Same with the other Words Book, Spend on the Bean Counter. I've read the manga. Haven't read the light novel yet. Then we have How to Win Her Heart on the 9th Try, which I haven't read. This is like a josei office romance. 3 Days of Happiness, You Can't See the Snow, The God at Nishikahara Station. These are all like emotional dramas. I haven't read any of them. I have read Blood Bros, First Kiss, Chevalier, Boy Meets Girl, and now Kurunaisa. This is the complete set. I've read it all. This is like the first light novel I ever owned. It's based off of the anime not the other way around. The anime came first, this came after, and then there's also a manga, but the manga's completely different. The manga adds more of like a comedic twist to it, and I dropped it after the first volume because I loved the anime for Blood Plus. This is pretty much the same. There is a few scenes in the light novels that were removed. Right, there's a few scenes in the anime that weren't in the light novels. So it didn't really add anything to the series. So if you've watched the anime, you don't need to read this because it's exactly the same, but with a few like minor scenes removed that weren't really important to the story. But yeah, these are very hard to find. They're out of print. But if you're a fan of Blood Plus, yeah, you can read them. They're good. I enjoyed them, but you don't have to. That doesn't bring anything new to the series. There is 2 manga volumes that I would like to read, which are like the 2 spin-off ones, which are not really connected to the main manga, more connected to the anime. But I'm yet to find them. And then we have Ascendance of a Bookworm Part 1, 1 to 3 complete, and Part 2, 1 to 4, which is complete. I have read Part 1, all 3 volumes, but I haven't read Part 2 yet. I have watched the anime, which covers up to the end of Part 2. And there is a new season which is going to cover some of Part 3 coming out soon. But yeah, I really like this one. This is one of the few isekais that I do enjoy. I really like Part 1. And obviously I've ranked what I watched at the anime for Part 2. And this is The Detective Is Already Dead, Volume 1. This is a mystery series, which I haven't yet read. But I like mystery. But it's not very high priority. The stuff I want to read more. Now, on the second shelf, there is a few more things that I have actually read. I have read The Disappearance of Hatsune Miku. It was okay. It's like based off the Vocaloid song, The Disappearance of Hatsune Miku, but the ending was weird. And then Grimgod Fantasy Ash 1 to 2, I have read. These are the 2 volumes that the anime covers. I like the anime. Picked up this years ago. Never continued it. Probably will at some point. You never know. Same with Toradora. I've read Volume 1 of Toradora because I like the anime, but never got around to getting more. Yeah, but I have read these. I have not read Booty Pop Phantom 1 to 3. This is like another like mystery sort of series. I'll get to it eventually. Raven of the Inner Palace, I haven't read, but I have watched the anime and it was very good. If you are a fan of the Apothecary Diaries or Eccentric Doctor of the Moonflower Kingdom, you will probably enjoy this. The anime was very good. It doesn't have a manga adaptation though. At least not in English. I suppose I won't bother you again. This one I haven't read. I bought it ages ago, back when the going back in time to write a pass along and like fix your life wasn't such an oversaturated trope. You see that everywhere now, but this is like kind of the first ones we got in English. That was that trope and it sounded interesting, but now it's everywhere and I don't have as much motivation to read it anymore, but I'll get to it at some point. Seventh Time Loop. The villainess enjoys a carefree life married to her worst enemy. I read the manga for this one. I haven't read the light novel yet. I haven't watched the anime yet either because it hasn't been dubbed. I'm waiting to see if it gets dubbed. But I've read the first volume of the manga. True Love fades away when the contract ends. I read the first volume of the manga for this one, but I didn't really enjoy it. And I already had the light novel because I bought them both together thinking I would like it, but I didn't really like the manga, so I'm not sure whether I should actually keep the light novel. Maybe give the manga another volume. It was okay, but it wasn't really my sort of setting. I don't really like that kind of oldie worldy, like period drama setting, which this has. So I'm not sure if I didn't like the manga whether I should bother with the light novel. Maybe I'll just sell it. Then I have my Yoru Sumino collection, which is currently incomplete because there's a new one just come out, which I don't have yet. But I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. I had that same dream again. At night I become a monster. I have a secret. I am blue and pain and fragile, and I will forget this feeling someday. I have read these 4. But I have not read these 2 yet. This one's my favourite. This one's very good. This is one of my favourite light novels in general. I absolutely adored it. I have the manga adaptation as well, which if you're not into reading light novels, I would recommend checking out the manga for that one. It is a very good story. I like them all, but that one's my favourite. And I should maybe get round to these two. Then we have the Tunnel to Summer, The Exit of Goodbyes, and Wait for Me Yesterday in Spring. These are by the same creator. I haven't read either of them, but I really like the sound of this one. And this one sounded quite good too. I know this one has a film. Maybe I'll watch it and it might motivate me to read it sooner. But this author has another series out as well called The Mimosa Confessions, which is currently 2 volumes long, I think, but I have just ordered the first one from Sci-Fi. It's obviously not here yet. But yeah, these are just one shots, but that one is a continuing series. I have just bought the first one. Hello World, this is an adaptation of a film. I couldn't find the film, so I thought I'll read the light novel, but now I still haven't read it, and now the film's available to watch on Blu-ray, so maybe I'll just watch the film. And if I really love the film, read it. Case Study of Julia Richard. This is another one where I've read the manga, but not the light novel. But this is a josei mystery. It revolves around jewels and stuff. I like mystery. It's also got like BL elements to it. Then Yes, No or Maybe I have read, and then Yes, No or Maybe Center of the World is volume 2. This one came out a couple months ago. I haven't read it yet. I think volume 3 has actually just come out for this one too. And there is a manga adaptation, but I haven't been able to find it. But yeah, I did enjoy the first one. It is a movie as well on Crunchyroll. And then Royal Soldier Lustful Beast is a steamship light novel, which I haven't read yet. Obviously. The Apothecary Diaries 1, again, I haven't read it, but I have read some of the manga. Then these are Katana Gasui Sword Tale, which I bought thinking it was this series. This is like a samurai series with like swords and stuff. I bought this in a Traveling Man years ago, mistaking it for this because they're by the same creator. This is Decapitation, Strangulation, and Suspension. This is a mystery series. It's like at least the first volume, they're on an island and there's a murder and they have to try and figure out which person who's on the island did the murder. Obviously, I like mystery series. I like the sound of this. So when I saw this, I thought it was this and I bought it. And I still have it. It's not really my sort of genre, but the artwork in it's actually very nice. So I kept it. And then I did actually get these, which are the ones I actually wanted. Haven't read them. I've had them years. I will read them eventually. I think it has an anime though. I also know this is not complete, and people have been waiting for volume 4 for years and we still haven't got it. But I think each volume is an individual story. And down the bottom is another. This is the novel for the anime. I have read this. There is like a sequel come out recently. Isolator 1 and 2. These are backwards for some reason. This is the author of Sword Art Online. I have read these. I read these a long time ago. I know there is more than 2. I did enjoy them. I don't know if I would still enjoy the series if I was to reread it now or continue it, because I did read this when I was a teenager. But I did like it then. It's about these Borgs come to Earth and give people powers, and our main guy's power is isolation, so he puts like the shield around himself and he can't hear anything and nobody can touch him and stuff like that because he likes to be alone. And the girl, I think, if I can remember correctly, can either teleport or control fire. I can't exactly remember it that well, but there is a shark man who has a very strong jaw and likes to bite things. I do remember that. Then we have Yami Horror. This is a horror. I think it contains short stories about different, like, I think each chapter's like a different horror story, but I haven't read it. But this is by Mizuki Sugimura, who is the author of the original novel for A School Frozen in Time, and also the original novel for Lonely Castle in the Mirror. I really like those two series, so I picked this one up. Lonely Castle in the Mirror does have an English release for the novel, but A School Frozen in Time doesn't. I'm thinking about picking that one up too, because I absolutely adore Lonely Castle in the Mirror. But yeah, this is her horror series, and this one, Anime Supremacy, is by her as well. And this one's about 3 women working in the animation industry and their struggles. I'm pretty sure one's an animator, one's a storyboarder, and one's a producer. Or something like that. But yeah, this one sounded interesting. And I like this author. I just haven't... Well, I like the manga adaptations that I've read from this author's works. I just haven't read any of her actual novels yet. Then this is a BL. This is I Can Have Your Back. It's like a fantasy reincarnation BL thing. I haven't read it. Stitches I just got recently. The art in this is by Junji Ito. The stories, and it's just very, very short horror stories with art by Junji Ito. This one won't take long to read at all. I might read it next, actually, because it probably won't. It's very short, and there's not that many words on the page either. It's mainly pictures. Maybe if I manage to get Iron Flame finished soon, I could read it for Halloween. But yeah, I picked that one up recently. This one is The Abandoned Heiress Gets Rich with Alchemy and Scores Herself an Enemy General. I have not read it. I heard it was enemies to lovers, which is a trope I enjoy. So I picked it up. I haven't read it yet, though. I don't think it's an isekai. I think it's just a fantasy. This next one is a Korean novel. It is Fairy Tale for Wizards. I have read this one. I have seen no mention anywhere of Volume 2. I think it's available digitally, but I have seen no mention anywhere ever of Volume 2 having a physical release. But I have read this one years ago. It's a fantasy about a young girl who ends up being taken in by a wizard, and she grows up and he like abandons her and takes away her memories, and now she's kind of met him again as a 17-year-old, and she's starting to like get her memories back, and she's wondering why he let her go. It was a good story and I did like it. It's like my only Korean light novel, but as I said, I can't find Volume 2 anywhere if it was ever printed. It has a really nice cover as well. Then Nier Automata, Long Story Short and Short Story Long. I've read this one. This is a retelling of the event in the game. This was shit. I would not recommend it. Long Story Short is the right title because they cut so much out. They rushed through everything. I wouldn't recommend it. This one, on the other hand, is short stories which are like connected to the game, but not actually in the game itself. It's just like short stories mainly revolving around A2. Again, I haven't read this one because obviously I didn't like the first one, but with this one being short stories rather than a retelling, it might be better. Also, I really need to get to watching the anime for Nier, because I really love the game. The Saint's Magic Power is Omnipotent. Again, why is this backwards? But I've read 1 and 2. I haven't read 3, which is why I haven't picked up anything past 3, because they haven't read it yet. But it's an isekai. I like the anime. I haven't got past the anime in terms of the light novel yet. I think the anime covers the first 4 volumes. Well, season 1. There is a season 2 now, which will cover more. Then there's some random BL light novels from June, Gentle Cage, Eternal Love, Sweet Admiration, Body Language, and Dark Walker. I have only read this one. it wasn't very good. It was very trashy. I haven't read the rest yet, but this one is the most interesting because I think this one's based off of a shoujo manga, which the concept of it anyway, there is a shoujo manga with the same sort of world and like powers and stuff, but with different characters, and I think this is based off that, but a BL. Then the rest of the stuff here is just Japanese volumes that I either picked up in Japan or online. These first three are the sequel light novel to Sugar Apple Fairy Tale, the volumes 1, 2 and 3. Obviously, Sugar Apple Fairy Tale does have an English printing, but this is a sequel series that continued after the end of the original run, which I don't know if we will get in English, which is why I picked them up in Japanese, because I adore this series. I'll put them back in a minute. Bloody Monday, I bought thinking it was the English volume, and when it arrived, it was in Japanese, which is probably why it was so cheap, because volume 4 at the time was out of print. I think it's now all out of print, as far as I know. But at the time, it was just volume 4, and I kept looking for volume 4, and I found it on eBay. It had the English picture as the picture, but when it arrived, it was in Japanese. So that's why I have a random volume 4 of Bloody Monday. I do have it in English as well. I did eventually find it. I will get you back in the shelf. Then is Love That's an Understatement in Japanese, and the 4 volumes of the one series that is by the same author as Library Wars. I picked these up in Japan. I also picked up this one, which is a Yona of the Dawn light novel, which we'll probably never get an English release of. It's like short side stories. And then volume 1 of Fruits Basket in Japanese, because this is my favourite series. This is a book on yokai. And then this is a webtoon, Let's Play, volume 1. And that is it for the light novels and random miscellaneous Japanese volumes. And we're going to move on to the main shelves. This shelf originally housed figures. I recently changed it to house manga, but there's still some empty space on this one because of that. So we're just going to start at the top. This first one is a light novel. This is the Kingdom Hearts Complete Novel Collection Edition. So this is one big, massive, chunky volume which contains every single Kingdom Hearts light novel that was ever released, and there's one big, massive book inside of this box. It also came with art cards, but I love the Kingdom Hearts games. I have since I was like 12. And I wrote like this. I had this notebook and I wrote down the plot of every single game in it, and I tried to explain the plot to my sister, and she had no idea what I was talking about, because the plot for Kingdom Hearts can get quite complicated, but I understood it even as a 12-year-old. And I tried to explain it to other people, they just weren't getting it. But yeah, so I wrote down the plot of every single game in a notebook and just had them read that. I was a bit obsessed. So yeah, there's some art cards in here as well. It also came with a keyblade. It didn't come with Sora, I put him on there. But yeah, I would take it out and open it and show, but it's very heavy. The book inside is basically the same size as this box. So it is one big, massive, hefty book. I know Yen Press did collections like this for other series like Spice and Wolf, Sword Art Online, and I think a certain Magical Index where they just put everything into one big, massive book. But yeah, this is the Kingdom Hearts one. I haven't read any of it, which is probably not a surprise. Now, this next shelf is In the front is Yes, Eternal Sabbath, which is by Fuyumi Soyo. I do have volume 5. It's in my TBR cart. So this is the complete set, 8 volumes. I've read the first 4. And then one behind this is a new addition to my collection. I haven't actually hauled this yet. I found a complete set of it on eBay for a very good price. And I picked it up. So this is like a sneak peek for my next haul because I haven't actually hauled this yet. And that is the complete collection of Mars 1 to 15. I don't have the prequel Horse with No Name volume, but yeah, I picked this up last month, so it hasn't appeared in any haul videos yet. It will be in my next haul. But yeah, it was being sold for a very good price. I've wanted to read this series for years. I have skimmed the first couple of volumes digitally before when Kodansha was doing a sale and they gave them away for like 1 pence. So I'm very happy to finally have this in my collection, and I am looking forward to giving it a read. But yeah, that is Mars. A bit of a sneak peek for my next haul video. And Eternal Sabbath is the same creator, that's why I put it together. Moving down past the Sugar Apple Fairy Tale comics, and that one is ID Invaded. We have A Polar Bear in Love, Volume 1. This is technically a BL, so it should be on the BL shelf. But it's there. It's about a polar bear who falls for a seal. Friday at the Atelier. This is sane and rom-com. Oops, sorry Shell, I didn't mean to do that. Then we have Beauty and the Beast of Paradise Lost 1 to 5 complete. This is by Kaoru Yuki. It's the only Kaoru Yuki series I have that I have finished. I did like her style. I like her, like she's like the queen of gothic shoujo, and I did really like this one. I have read a couple of her volume 1s, but I haven't got any other complete Kaoru Yuki series. Okay, if I move Shell, we have I See Your Face Turned Away 1 and 2. Alice in the Country of Hearts, I've had that years. I've never continued it though. Sweat and Soap Complete 1. Where's that gone? 1 to 11. There it is. Then Stupid Love Comedy and When a Magician Pupil Smiles. This one was quite interesting. It's about a boy who can't feel emotions unless he's killed somebody, so he keeps killing people so he can feel emotions until he meets this girl. Stupid Love Comedy is about making shoujo manga and her getting a new editor. It's more of like a comedy than a romance. Yeah, that's that shelf. Sweat and Soap was really good, by the way. This is the shelf where I've started to put my manhwa. It's obviously not all manhwa yet. I don't have enough to fill the whole shelf. But we have Death Note 1 and 2 in the black editions. I did enjoy this. I just haven't got around to getting more yet. Medalist number 1. I have number 2. I just haven't read it yet. It's in the cart. And then O Maidens in Your Savage Season 1 and 2. I have seen the anime to this, so I do know the complete story. The manga is good too, especially since it's Mari Okuda who wrote it. Mari Okuda did like the anime films for like Makia, which is one of my favourite films. Then we have Freaking Romance 1. This is an OEL webtoon. Then we have... I read this recently. I enjoyed it, although the dialogue was a bit cringy at times. Especially the main character. We have Emanon. Memories of Emanon. Wanderer Part 1, Wanderer Part 2, and Wanderer Part 3. Which is supposed to be the final volume, but it's kind of open. So it says to be continued. So is it the end? Is there going to be more? I don't know. I liked 1 and 3 more than I liked 2 and 4. Then we have Nina the Story Bride 1 to 4. I just ordered 5. It's a Josei fantasy series, which recently got an anime. I've been enjoying it. Gazing at the Store Next Door 1 and 2. This is another shoujo romance which I've been enjoying recently. Adult's Picture Book. This was an interesting one about a guy who has to take in his best friend's daughter after he died, and he kind of possibly had romantic feelings towards his friend. It's still like unclear whether he did or whether it was just like a strong friendship. And then in order to help raise her, he just asks this random woman who looks like his best friend to marry him, and she says yes because she felt like it, I guess. But yeah, volume 1 was kind of setting everything up. It's like a found family, fake family sort of thing. It's good. I just ordered the second one. Then we have A Business Proposal 1, See You in My 19th Life 1, What's Wrong with Secretary Kim 1, Bloody Sweet 1 and 2, Why Did Rayon End Up at the Duke's Mansion, Honest Reader's Viewpoint 1 and 2, and The Horizon 1, which this is all my manhwa. I think A Business Proposal is my favourite out of the 4 romance ones. Rayon is more fantasy isekai. This is action, like survival, and then this is like a dark, kind of slice of life series. But yeah, Bloody Sweet's fantasy where it's got vampires, and these feel like office romance. But See You in My 19th Life has the elements of like reincarnation. And down. And on this shelf in the back there is, pull these out, Love and Focus. That is a romance, and I just knocked the lights off. It is a shoujo romance about photography. I'm gonna have to stick those back down. And then Call the Name of the Night is a fantasy seinen series. It's very pretty, the artwork. I do enjoy that one. It's only 5 volumes as well, so almost complete. Then we have Stepping on Roses 1 to 3. This is a very dramatic, like shoujo historical romance. It's not complete. I would like to read more though. Tale of the Moon is by the same author. This is a fantasy ninja series. I did love these first 2 volumes, and I would love to get more of this one. These are the same author. And then from the Red Fog 1 to 5, that is complete. That one had a very disappointing ending. Like, it could have done with being longer. I don't know if it was cancelled or what, but I did enjoy it. It was about a little boy who was like a serial killer. And then volume 1 of Codebreaker, which I like the anime for this. We only ever got volumes 1 and 2 in English before Del Rey got bought out by Kodansha, and Kodansha dropped the series. But it's a shonen action superpower series about these guys who are called Codebreakers, and they each have powers, but they're also not allowed to exist, so they have to like hide their existence. And this is the main girl, Sakura, and she meets Rei Ogami, and she like learns of the Codebreakers and that. But yeah, only the first 2 ever got printed in English. But I have the first one. Now I need to put all this back on the shelf so I can do the photo. There we go. Next here is Ruffy Muko Volumes 1 to 4. This is a very wholesome dog manga, cute dog antics with a Shiba Inu living in the countryside with her owner, who is a grass grower called Mr. Komatsu. This is supposed to be 17 volumes long. This is the first 4. I don't know if these are 2-in-1s or not, because there's like a colour page randomly in the middle of all of them. But volume 5 was meant to come out a while ago, but I can't find it, so I don't know when it's actually going to come out. But yeah, it's just cute, wholesome slice of life dog antics. If you want a dog manga that's cute and not sad, this is a good one. There's Danganronpa Volume 1. I love the games. So I picked up the manga, but only ended up getting the first one. Oops. Because I have experienced the story in like manga, anime, game format. I do really like Danganronpa. Then we have My Dog is a Death God. This one's about a death god who is bad at his job, so he's put into the body of a golden retriever and sent to this hospice where he has to go into people's memories and help them move on to the next world. I don't know when Volume 2 is out. I don't think Volume 2 has a release date yet. He is True Love Fades Away When the Contact Ends, Volume 1 of the manga. Again, I didn't really enjoy it that much, so I might get rid of it. Seventh Time Loop. There's the manga. Spirit Circle. This is like 8 volumes and I've only read the first one. The Haunted Bookstore Gateway to a Parallel Universe. This wasn't very good, but I've heard the light novel is a lot better. And the main reason I didn't enjoy this wasn't the story, it's because it kind of felt a bit rushed. But obviously the light novel will correct that because it has more time. But the story I did enjoy, it's just it felt rushed. But then we have Merman in My Tub 1 and 2. This is like a 4-panel comedy about a guy who brings a merman home after he finds him injured on the riverbank. And now he just lives in his bath and he refuses to get out. Then The Strange House. I read this recently. This was brilliant. It's a mystery. It's considered to be a horror, but I wouldn't consider it a horror. It's more just a mystery about floor plans and houses that have strange floor plans that are possibly like built for nefarious purposes. Here is the manga adaptation of I Had That Same Dream Again. This is an omnibus that contains all 3 volumes. But yeah, this is a short manga. I would highly recommend checking it out. It has a very good story to it. So if you want a short manga, check that one out. It's not much of a commitment, it's just this one omnibus. And it is very good. Then I have the first 7 volumes of Devil's Line, which just happens to be where the anime concluded, was volume 7. I haven't got around to buying more of this yet. But it's like, they're devils, but they're basically vampires. And then down here is like some art books and stuff. That we have Okami, the official complete works. This is an art book for Okami. It's one of my favourite games. Then we have Danganronpa 1 and 2 Reload fan book. This is Token Rambu art book. Code Realize, Future Blessings fan book. Amnesia, one of the Amnesia sequels fan book. It's either Memories or Cloud, I can't remember. Horror Ex Malice fan book. This is actually for the first game rather than one of the sequels. I just find these randomly at SunnyCon when I used to go, and I just pick them up because I like the games, but I couldn't find the ones for the first games other than Horror Ex Malice, so I just got the ones for the sequels. Twisted Visions. This is Junji Ito's art book. This is the Junja Romantica art book. This is Tatsuki Nao's art book. I really like her artwork. The only series we have in English by her is the BL Man Boobs one. But she has so many shoujo works that have beautiful art, which we don't have in English. But yeah, this is a very nice art book. I can't pull it out though because this shelf is jam-packed. Wotakoi with his Hardcore Otaku art book. This is the Lala 45 anniversary art book from Laura magazine. Like, it shows pictures of their different series and stuff. This is the Fushigi Yugi art book. I got this on eBay for like £4 because it was put up for bidding, and I was the only person who bid on it, so I got it for like £4, which is very, very cheap considering I think this is out of print. Then we had the Hana to Yume 50th anniversary book. This is similar to the Rara 45th one. Then this skinny green one here is the Given art book. This one is the art book for the author of Therapy Game and Secret XXX. It's kind of all her series. It's called Darling. This is the Inuyasha profile fan book. Again, I got this on eBay for very cheap because no one else bid on it except for me. The Ascendants of a Bookworm official fan book 1. This covers up to like part 3, volume 2, I think. Then Pokenatomy, which is an unofficial book showing the anatomy of Pokemon. It's very cool, it's very interesting. It's this guy's interpretation of what he thinks a Pokemon's anatomy would be and how their body would work and stuff. Then the Anime Encyclopedia, 3rd revised edition. This is an encyclopedia of anime. This came out years ago, so it's not up to date anymore, but it is quite interesting. This is a Norn 9 art book that came with the special edition of the game, and this is a Rune Factory 5 art book that came with the collector's edition of the game. And that is it for down there. And before we move on to the next shelf, we're going to go pop over here because there is another art book. In this display, I really like this display. It's like a shoujo display that I made. I have the Yona of the Dawn illustrations book for the 20th anniversary. That's the Yona of the Dawn 20th anniversary illustrations book. It's very nice. This stack here is all Hana to Yume magazines, including the 2 50th anniversary issues. And around here, this is a Betsukomi magazine, this is a Ribbon magazine, and this is a Dessert magazine. And these are the little fan books that came with the Hana to Yume magazines, along with those 2 art cards and these art cards. So I just wanted to include that in case I forgot, but that is part of the art books. And now we'll move on to the next shelf. Like, these top 3 shelves are all BL, and we'll start off there. This top shelf is also going to be my overflow shelf for Sublime, because Sublime shelf is now completely full. And this shelf is going to be annoying because there's so much on it. Okay, if you can see at the back there, I don't particularly want to pick anything up because everything will fall over. But at the back there, you can just about see Love Stage volumes 1 to 7. That is complete. Behind I Love Given, as you can probably tell. But yeah, that's the complete Love Stage. That's one of the first BL I read, along with the one next to it, which is 10 Count. That's complete too. They're like 2 of the first BL series that I ever read. I have the 10 Count Nendroids there. And this and that is 7 Days, Monday to Sunday, which is by the same artist. The artist did 10 Count, but the author is somebody different. Then that is the complete Cast Heaven, or is that 8 volumes? That's a very messed up one. It's very dark. Don't read it unless you're like willing to read something very messed up. It's like high school students who like play this game where they have castes, and the top castes are in charge and the lower castes are basically used as sex slaves a lot of the time. But the castes are determined by what card you pick up during this game, and like lower castes can't associate with the higher castes. And the main 2 characters are very, very, very toxic, and the side couples are very toxic, but it was a good, interesting read, I suppose. Then Candy Colour Paradox, that is 1 to 6, which is up to date. That's one of my favourites. I love that series. I love the couple. And then there's also the Assorted Pack in there, which is side stories. And False Memories, which is a 2-volume series by the same creator behind Haruki there. Next to that is Secret XXX, which is the one-shot prequel to Therapy Game, which I have 1 and 2 there. And then Therapy Game Restart, which I have 1 to 3. And 4 is not read yet, it's in my cart. I do promise that the other shelves will have better access. It's just I don't really want to move anything on this shelf because it took me ages to get those Nendroids in the right spot. And then there's the Dragon's Betrothed, which is the same creator as Therapy Game 1 and 2. And behind that is The World's Greatest First Love 1 to 3. Again, that was one of my first. I just haven't continued it. Along with Toy-Town Birds of a Feather 1 to 2, which is complete. And Black or White Volume 1. Put you back up there. Now, the front will be easier. This is Ramu Rosaria's section. We have Coyote 1 to 4. Rickman Cigarettes, which is a one-shot. And Birds of Shangri-La 1 and 2. I have 3. It's in the TBR cart. Ramu Rosaria draws great arses. Some of the best arses I've ever seen in a BL has come from Ramu Rosaria's stuff. Then, Given, my favourite. I have got 9 on the way, which is the final volume. Love Given. I'm obsessed, as you can tell. Lynx is the same author as Given. It's a one-shot. I did quite enjoy this one as well. Then we have Daisy Jealousy. This is a one-shot. Office Romance by the creator of Escape Journey and Bitch Club. I really liked Escape Journey. Bitch Club's okay. I haven't got Volume 5 yet. But I did enjoy this one. Jackass, which is Scarlett Barreto. I didn't enjoy her Yakuza series, but I did quite like that one. Honey Darling, which is about a vet. Sayonara Game, Change World, and Love Nest, and then Love Nest Second. These are all the same series. Like, this one follows different characters to these two. But I haven't got Volume 2 of Love Nest Second yet. Then we have Awkward Silence 1. This is like a sweet high school BL about a shy guy and the guy he likes. Nights. This is a one-shot. It's Golden Sparkle. Embracing Love, which I think this was incomplete in English after Volume 6. Punch Up. Crimson Spell. Just some random Volume 1s. Dick Fight Island. Gotta love Dick Fight Island. And then Pink Hot Jam 1 and 2. That's complete. There is a sequel coming out though. Now, we'll move down. No, actually, I think I'm going to move across and I'm going to do the 3 BL shelves first. Because that way it'll be easier because I won't have to get on the stool as much. So yeah, we're going to go this way. Oh, up here, behind here, is Cherry Magic. We're doing the most awkward shelves first because I have a lot of stuff on these shelves. That's Cherry Magic 1 to 10. I have ordered 11. There's also at the very, very side there is a Yuri on Ice Dojin. Then we have I Think Our Son is Gay. That's a very sweet one about a mother realising her son is possibly gay and trying to be supportive without outing him. That's complete. My Summer of You 1 to 3. I'm pretty sure that's complete unless the author decides to do more again. Then by the same creator is My Ultramarine Sky and Number Call. They're one-shots. New York, New York, complete. That's a good one. Sad, but good. And then The White and Blue Between Us is that one there. Restart After Growing Hungry and Restart After Coming Back Home. They are good. I would recommend those ones. Then we have, what's that? Love Kitten and the Salty Dog. That was quite a good one-shot as well. If you want a good one-shot, I do recommend that one. There's the Man Boobs one that I mentioned before by the person I have the art book for, who's now I've forgotten the name because it's not right in front of me. Then we have The Yearning Fox Rise and Wait, same author as Turns Out My Online Friend is My Real Life Boss. The BL First Crush Anthology, which I read recently. I talked about that in my recent reading log. And Link Rick, which I know isn't a BL, but I didn't have anywhere else to put it, so it's with the BL. One can hope. Then we have I Can't Reach You, volumes 1 to 7. That is up to date. That is a sweet, quite a slow burn, although not too bad because it's only 7 volumes so far. And they're already getting praises. Then Two of Hearts is a random one-shot that I found in a bundle on eBay with some other stuff. And then Sasaki and Mino 1-2 up to date, whatever the latest number is. And the spin-off Hirono and Kaguru 1-4, which is up to date. And now for the front is My Rough Mix-Up 1 to 9 with the stuff on the top. That's a cute one. Only 9 volumes. And Happy at the End, this is again by the author of Escape Journey and Bridge Club. I haven't read the second one. A Home Far Away, this one is very sad. Sick. Wildlife, this one is short stories and they're rather strange. The Song of Yoru and Asa, and then The Ruthless Commander and His Reincarnated Warlord. It was strange, it was also bad. I did not really like the relationship, but I've kept it because it's just so bloody weird. He's reincarnated as a horse. He doesn't shag the horse. He turns human before he does that. But yeah, then we have Only the Flower Knows. This is the author of 10 Count. This one is very good. And At the Flower Capital is a prequel / sequel. It's a prequel with some sequel stuff in the back, but you do have to have read this before you read this. But these are good, and I would recommend this series. It's very good. No Touching at All. That's Ko Yoneda, the same author as Knights. I Should Not Love You is a very funny BL one-shot by the author of Cast Heaven. This one is nothing like Cast Heaven, so if you didn't like Cast Heaven because it was so messed up, this one's nothing like it, and I would recommend it. Romeo, this one was strange, but also very intriguing. I Hear the Sunspot, The Theory of Happiness, Limit 1 and 3, and 4 Seasons 1. I have 4 Seasons 2 as well, I just haven't read it yet. Love this series, this is another one of my favourite BLs. So good. Then we have The Two Lions, which is Nagisa Furuya of My Summer Review. Our Dining Table is a very sweet one. Boy Meets Maria is good, but if you're going to read this one, do look up the trigger warnings. It does have some very dark topics in there, and it does have a scene of sexual assault in there, which is quite a bit graphic, and it does involve a child, so definitely look up the trigger warnings for that one. It is not meant to be sexualized or sensationalized or anything. It is meant to be shocking, which it is. But I would recommend it because it is a good story. Then we have Delinquent Daddy and Tender Teacher 1 to 3. This one's very sweet, very wholesome. Fantastic. Seaside Stranger 1 to 6. So this is originally a one-shot, and then you see how it changed name. But yeah, that's up to date. The Corn at Mouth Dreams of Cheese, and The Cop on the Chopping Block Jumps Twice. That's by Setsuona Mizushiro, who I generally like her stuff. I did like these. And then Total Eclipse of the Eternal Heart, which is a horror BL, which is about... It's kind of like a revenge sort of thing about something that happened in these characters' past lives, but it is more horror than romance. Don't read it expecting a romance because it's very more horror. But that one's by the author of Go For It Nakamura, which is like, I haven't read it, but it's supposed to be like a really wholesome BL. Then on this shelf, again with the oversaturation of Nendroids, that is a BL magazine. I don't remember which one it is, but it is a BL magazine. Killing Stalking, that's a manhwa. That should really be with the manhwa, but it's a BL, so it's with the BL. So it's there. Then Hybrid Child, that is a one-shot by the creator of Junjo Romantica. Then I Didn't Mean to Fall in Love is a one-shot. That is now no longer a one-shot. They have The Summer Hiku Died 1 to 3. Then Nagihara To Be or Not to Be, which is the Scarlet Bareko. On or Off, that's another manhwa. That is really good. I've only read the first volume, but I've really loved it. Maybe you should get more. Then I have the first volume, if you can see, of Twilight Out of Focus, which my camera is actually out of focus trying to look at Twilight Out of Focus. But yeah, there's Twilight Out of Focus. Stop focusing on the Nendroids. But yeah, Twilight Out of Focus is there. I only have one. I do like it. I do want to watch the anime, but I'm waiting for the box set to get more, which comes out next year. And then these are all Tokyo Pop one-shots, so The first one is Sherry, My Destiny. That one is Category Ramp. That one is Two Peas in a Pod, Don't Call Me Dirty and Don't Call Me Daddy. I would recommend those two. Those two were good. And not all of these were good, but I kept them for the correction. Glass Syndrome was a good one. I would recommend that. And what's that one? Would You Like to Be a Family? That one's like short stories. Yagi the Bookshop Goat is one I enjoyed. Tomorrow Make Me Yours. Be My Love, My Lord, that one wasn't great. Drivy for You, Replay. The Flower That Only Seems to Dance, that's a good one. Scrambles, I did not enjoy. Broken Back, I don't know how to pronounce that word, but I know it's not areola because that's a nipple. But that one was okay. I didn't particularly fond of the ending. I'm Looking for Serious Love. Cut Over Criteria, that one wasn't great. The Snake Who Loved the Sparrow, that one was good. That one was good. And it involves animal anatomy on human bodies. And one of them's a bird. And as most people know, birds do not have penises. But there is a way they do this. And you'll have to read it to find out. Snow Fairy, it's a good one. That's a very good one. Great artwork as well. Silent Lord, Platinum Blood, Treasure of the King and the Cat, Puppy Wood. Puppy Wood's a good one. And so is The Cat Proposed. I would recommend these two as well. There Are Things That I Can't Tell You, The Golden Fighter's Messenger, Wonderful Season with You, Decaloco Sugar Days, Decaloco Bittersweet Days, and then Love Circus, which wasn't great. But I used to collect every single Tokyo Pop one-shot that they released until they changed into the Love line, and then they just kind of kept bringing them out all the time, and I couldn't keep up anymore, so I have all of the one-shots that are under the Tokyo Pop logo, apart from an Omegaverse one, but I don't have any that are from Love. I will probably pick up some, but I don't think I will be grabbing them all like I used to. Ginger Romantica 1 to 12, this is complete in English. They cancelled it after 12 volumes because Brew was owned by Tokyo Pop. And no one is willing to license rescue this, because this, although popular in the 90s, would not be popular by today's standards. It's like not the best, but I like it. I like the anime as well, but yeah, back in the 90s this was normal for BL, but it's really not great by today's standards. But yeah, it's still good. In my eyes, I still like it. But yeah, I don't think we'll be ever seeing the rest of it physically. Especially since it's still ongoing at like 30 volumes now. Lullaby of the Dawn, this is actually the only Tokyo Pop I own under the Love imprint. I really like these two volumes. I do want to pick up more. Manner of Death is a Thai. I'm pretty sure this is from Thailand. And then Bean Counter 1 to 4. And then Sensitive Pornograph, which is the only one I own by 801 Manga. It came in a bundle with some other BL. Anti-Romance, which I still need to get volume 2 of this. And then at 25 in Akitsaka, which I read recently. And then that's all for the BL shelves. So now I'm going to get back down off the stool. And we're going to go probably along still rather than down, because then I can put the chair away after the next 3 shelves. Up we go. If I wasn't so short, I could do this without a chair. But we'll start with the back. These shelves are not as cluttered. It's easier to see the back. This is one of my favourite series. This is Dengeki Daisy. It's complete. It's 16 volumes. It's fantastic. I did this picture for it. It's high school romance, but with like thriller elements, I would say. The main character loses her parents at a young age, and she is raised by her older brother, but he dies of stomach cancer, and he leaves her this phone, and he's like, if you're ever in danger, text Daisy will help you. So she's given this phone with this number in it for this Daisy, and Daisy is like this hacker. He's like this well-known hacker. And she like texts him whenever she's feeling down and stuff, and he like texts her back. But then this janitor starts at her school called Kurosaki, and she breaks a window, and she now has to pay him back by helping him out. But this guy, it's not really a spoiler because it's pretty obvious, and also you find out in the first volume is actually Daisy. So she's working with this janitor who is actually the guy she's been texting all this time. She doesn't find out straight away, but you as a reader find out in the first volume. And it's pretty obvious anyway. So it's not really a spoiler. So yeah, she's texting Daisy, while also not realising this guy she is with at school is Daisy, because they act completely different to each other. And yeah, there's stuff with this phone. There's these people going around who insist on taking her phone because they think this phone has information in it that they want because of this guy who like worked with Daisy when he was this hacker. And yeah, it's very good. It is an age gap, but there's more to the story than obviously the age gap romance. There is the drama, there's the thriller stuff, there's the stuff with the phone. And yeah, it's very good. It's very good. It's one of my favourite manga, like, ever. Then we have QQ Sweeper 1 to 3 and Queen's Quality 1 to 19, which is up to date. This is the same creator as Dengeki Daisy, and this author knows how to write, because Queen's Quality and QQ Sweeper is also very good, and it's also one of my favourite manga. I know these days QQ Sweeper Volume 1 is quite difficult to get a hold of. I've had this years before like the manga boom kind of happened and everything started going out of stock all the time. I had this since all 3 volumes of QQ Sweeper were out when I bought this, but Queen's Quality hadn't released yet. Because I remember reading QQ Sweeper after finding it randomly in a Waterstones in Newcastle. And I picked up the first one and I really liked it. So I picked up 2 and 3 online. And then volume 3 was said was the final volume, and it ended, and I was like, it can't end there. That can't be the end. It's so open. And then I found out there was a sequel, but it didn't have an English license. And I was like, well, shit. But then I remember seeing the announcement when Queen's Quality first got licensed. I saw the announcement, I think it was Facebook, because I don't think I was on Twitter at the time. I saw the announcement and I was like, yes, we're gonna get this in English now. I'm so excited, and it is very good. Yeah, that was one of the first license announcements that I was really super excited for, because I didn't really keep up with license announcements back then. I didn't really know when they were happening. I wasn't really anticipating anything or really looking forward to anything, because I wasn't as knowledgeable about unlicensed manga back then as I am now. Because obviously now there's series I know that I want in English that aren't licensed, but that then I had no idea. So when I saw this was like the first license announcement that I was very super excited for when I saw it happen, because it was one series I actually knew. Because I didn't really know what wasn't licensed back then. But yeah, Queen's Quality is excellent. It's like a fantasy action shoujo romance. Like, well, you could class it as kind of high school, but they don't go to, at least in Queen's Quality, they're not in school that often. I mean, they are high school students, but it's not often they're actually in school. I mean, a good chunk of Queen's Quality takes place during the holidays. And yeah, it's in its final arc now. I think it's ending in like 5 chapters. It's so good. And then Beastmaster is also the same creator, but this one's okay. The Beastmaster story is okay. It's about a girl who takes in this boy who has quite a lot of animalistic qualities about him. But the best part of this is in volume 2, there's a side story about a boy who turns into a cactus. I don't remember what it's called, but it takes up like a good chunk of this second volume, and that was very good. I like the cactus story. which is one of the main reasons I keep this, because Beastmaster itself was just okay, but I really like the cactus story. It sounds weird about a boy becoming a cactus, but there's actually got quite emotional. Then Honey So Sweet, I have the first one. I got this like back when everything was out of stock, and I never was able to find volume 2, so I never continued it, but it is now available to find easily. And So Cute It Hurts 126, I've had this years. I think I got the first one at either Newcastle Comic Con or SunnyCon years ago. And next, this probably was the most valuable thing in my collection before. It probably won't be as valuable now because obviously reprints are happening, which is brilliant, by the way. So glad the series is going to be ready available in English for those who want to read it. But this is Red River, complete in the singles, volumes 1 to 28. I got this on eBay as a complete set for a very good price. I don't know if the seller was just wanting to sell it cheap because she wanted someone else to be able to buy and enjoy the series at a decent price, or whether she just didn't know how much it was worth. Either way, I'm grateful that she sold it at that price and that I was able to get a hold of it, because this is a very good series. And I was very happy to see the omnibuses get announced. Obviously, I won't be purchasing them because I have the singles, but for those who want to read the series, I'm happy that they're going to finally be able to read the series physically in English again, because it's getting reprinted. But yeah, I don't know if the singles are going to drop in price now and if they're going to be easier to find or cheaper now that we're getting omnibuses, but I don't know, because people will still want the singles, probably because people like singles over omnibuses, so they might still be expensive. Either way, the omnibuses are a great way to finally be able to read the series in English, and I just hope Viz Media releases some other shoujo series like Basara, Please Save My Earth, From Far Away in the same sort of format, so they will be ready and available too. But yeah, that's Red River's great, and I'm so happy to be able to own it all in the singles. Then we have High School Debut. The first 2 omnibuses. I do want to get more of this. I did really like this. I just haven't gotten around to it, which is the case with a lot of things. And then Chibi Vampire 1 to 14 and MAO. This is complete. This is a shonen rom-com with vampires. I remember enjoying the anime for this one when I was like maybe 14. I watched it. And yeah, it was very good. And so the anime has an original ending though, and the manga is better. The manga has less fan service as well than what the anime did. Although the anime wasn't too heavy on the fan service, the manga does have less. So it's very good. I think Viz now has the license to this one, and I think they released it digitally through their Viz like Classics pack. I don't know what it's called, but they released it through that. MAO is a spin-off of short stories. There is another spin-off called Bites, which I don't have. But yeah, Chibi Vampire is good. The girl in it is a vampire, but instead of drinking blood, her body creates too much blood. So she has to bite people to put her blood into them, or else she gets a massive nosebleed and just bleeds everywhere. And then this new boy joins her school, and she fancies him, and every time she sees him, her body just erupts blood everywhere. So she's kind of a reverse vampire. Like, in this first volume, the cover is flipped, but the inside is not. So, although the cover's this way around, you still read it this way. I don't know if they originally wanted to flip the series and then change their mind, but it's only volume 1 that's like that. Yeah, if you can get a hold of Chibi Vampire, I would recommend this one, or just read the digital one that Viz has. I don't think it's too difficult to find. I don't think it's one of the like super like difficult and expensive ones. I found it for like, I think I got the whole thing for like £50 or something like that. It wasn't too bad. Next, at the back we have The Demon Prince of Momochi House 1 and 2. He's My Only Vampire, and then Kiss of the Rose Princess 1 to 5. They're all by the same creator. I know Momochi House has an anime now. I haven't seen it. And here is Bloody Monday 1 to 11 complete. This one's very good. This is like an action thriller series about a hacker boy whose father works for like the intelligence service, and they get like reports that this terrorist attack called Bloody Monday is going to happen, and he's working with his friends in order to help stop it because his father's like arrested. I can't remember why he was arrested. It's been years since I read this. But yeah, this was very good. It also has 2 sequel manga, which never got printed in English. But you don't need to read those because these 11 volumes do finish that storyline. And obviously the sequels will be, I think he's older. I think it's when he's in college or something. But if you can get a hold of this and you like thriller action series with some mystery elements, I would recommend that. It's great. And I say, it took me... At the time I was collecting it, Volume 4 was the only one that was out of print, which I said before, which is why I have it in Japanese. But I think the whole thing might now be out of print, but that might not be true. It's just I'd never seen it for years, so... I think the last time I saw this out in, like, a shop was when I went to Glasgow for the first time. And that was years ago. So I don't know if it's still available now. I know Volume 4 definitely isn't, but it might be all out of print now. I'm not 100% sure, though. Then we have Sacrificial Princess and the King of Beasts 1 to 4. I've seen the anime for this, so I know the whole story because the anime did finish the story. Urara and Ultramaniac, I got those in a bundle. I did really like both of them. Ultramaniac was especially very fun. It's like off of Marmalade Boy. It's about a witch. And then Basara, volumes 1 to 12. This is incomplete. Volumes 13 to 27 are proving impossible to find for anything under like £30 a volume, which I am not paying. But yeah, I have these first 12. I really want this reprinted, like Red River, so I can continue it. I'll probably just keep 1 to 12 in the singles, and if they do 3-in-1s, it'll be like 13, 14, and 15 will be the first one I pick up. Yeah, it's a fantasy, like, I think it's a fantasy, but it doesn't take place in the past. I think it takes place in, like, a post-apocalyptic future, from what I remember. But we follow a girl called Sasara, and her brother, Tatara, is the child of destiny. He's the one who's meant to save everybody, but he gets killed in an accident, so now she's pretending to be her brother and is going around dressed as her brother, pretending to be the child of destiny and like saving the world from this like corrupt king and his like 4 sons, like the Blue King, the Red King, the Black King, and the White King, I think it is. I enjoyed what I read. Out of the 3 Yomi Tamura series, I think it's my least favourite because I do like 7 Seas and Don't Call It Mystery more, but it is still very enjoyable. But I also preferred Red River over this one. But it's still very good, and I would like to finish it. So, Viz, get on those 3-in-1s. And then we have Mixed Vegetables 1 to 8, that's complete. I found that it's SunnyCon years ago as well. It's a cooking manga about a girl who wants to be a sushi chef and a boy who wants to be a pastry chef, but she's the daughter of a pastry chef and he's the son of a sushi chef, so they pretend to like each other to get close to each other's families and stuff. I quite enjoyed it. It wasn't my favourite or anything, but it was decent. And then we have Kobuto 1 and 2. This is probably like my favourite Cramp series, although it's like one of 3 that I've actually read. I really like the anime though. I think the anime finished it, but I'm yet to be able to find past Volume 2. And then Wish is also by Cramp. This is a complete omnibus. I used to have Clover, but I did unhaul that one. But yeah, they're the only Cramp series I've ever read. I'm kind of interested in X and its prequel Tokyo Babylon though, because they seem quite good, and also Tokyo Babylon's a BL. And we have The Ancient Maker's Bride, 1 to 19, not up to date because I think Volume 20 is out. Plus this random short story that came with Volume 6. I like this series. It's fantasy slice of life. Very magical. And this is the fan book. And these are the 2 supplements which explain some of the lore from, like, I think the first 8 volumes. I think this one's 1 to 4 and this one's 5 to 8. But a lot of the lore is, like, British, like, folklore and stuff, which I already knew anyway. And then these are the 2 light novel anthologies, the Golden Yarn and the Silver Yarn. These are, like, short stories written by different authors. Then we have Wizard's Brew 1 to 8, which is up to date. I think this is ending soon. And then Jack Flash and the Fairy Case Players 1 to 4, which we haven't had Volume 5 for a while, but I like this one more than this one out of the 2 spin-offs. And then Beasts of Abigail 1 to 4 complete. This is good. Could have done with being a bit longer though. And now we're going to move on to the last shelf that requires me to stand on a stool. So in this one doesn't have a lot in the back. This one just has Blackbird complete. Trashy shoujo, read it years ago. Took me forever to complete, but I finished it eventually. I did enjoy it, although it is quite trashy. And then Kami-sama Kiss 1 to 25 complete, plus the extra fan book that came with the limited edition Volume 25, which has the extra story in it. I do like Kami-sama Kiss. I enjoyed the anime as well, and that's the manga complete. I'm looking forward to her new series. I haven't read that one yet. Then Dawn at the Arcana 1 to 13 complete. Love this series. I think this series is amazing. I think out of this and the King's Beast, I do like this one more than the King's Beast. I just really love this one. It's very good. It's fantasy shoujo. And this one takes place in the same world as Dawn at the Arcana, but it's a different continent. So this one's more like Chinese, this one's more like European. But you don't have to have read Dawn at the Arcana to read the King's Beast up to a certain point. But then they do start introducing characters from Dawn at the Arcana into the King's Beast. And at first I thought that this took place after this one, but it seems that they're taking part at the same time from, like, the rate of volumes and the appearance of these characters. Yeah, I do like both, but I think I prefer Dawn at the Arcana. And The Water Dragon's Bride is also by this author, but this isn't complete. This also isn't connected to these. Then we have After School Nightmare 1 to 10 complete. This is another fantastic series. Another one of my favourites. This is like a drama mystery with some romance in there, and like our main character is at the beginning he identifies as a boy, but he is intersex. So his top half is male and his bottom half is female, and he struggles a lot with his gender identity because of that. But he does identify as a boy in the start of the series. And he goes to this school, and in this school there is a basement, and every night the students are invited to this basement and they get sent into this like other world where they appear as like not as their true selves, but kind of like a part of themselves, kind of like it's kind of a part of themselves, but also a part that they're hiding and stuff like that. But they have to look for a key, and the key is always inside of one of them. And they need to get this key in order to graduate and move on. But nobody knows what graduating is, because when they graduate, they disappear. They're never seen from again. But if you don't attend for 3 nights in a row, you can attend for like... If you don't attend for like 3 nights in a row, you disappear as well. And nobody remembers who you were. Your existence is gone. So he has to keep going and doing it, because he can't not. But yeah, when he is in this world, he appears as... He has a furry female body. So, like, which he hates because he thinks of himself as being a boy. So, and, like, there's this guy who appears as a knight, one who appears as a paper giraffe because he kind of thinks of himself as above anybody else. He looks down on people, but he's also quite flimsy, which is why he's a paper giraffe, and he, like, when he gets wet, he kind of melts. One of them appears as a cell phone, one of them appears as their younger self. It's a very good series. If you can find this one, because it is a more difficult series to get a hold of, I would highly recommend it. It is very good. One of my favourites. And this is the author I was on about before who did The Cornet Mouse Dreams of Cheese. And then her other series, which is only 2 volumes, is X Day. This one was very good too. It's only short, but it was definitely good. I also enjoyed the side story about the cow people. And Riker Butterfly 1 to 5. And The Witch's House, The Diary of Erin 1 and 2. This is based on an RPG Maker horror game, and this kind of gives more lore and more context to the game. I would recommend playing the game first, though, because this does spoil the twist at the end of the game. So yeah, if you enjoy the game, or if you're interested in this, play the game. It's only short, you can beat it in like 2-3 hours. And then read the manga. It's a horror, though, so be warned. Okay, down on I can put this away now. I don't need it. So this shelf here is next. So at the back there we have A Happy Marriage. That is complete at how many volumes? 10. I know this series gets a lot of hate. And it is trashy, don't get me wrong. But I really like it. It's like one of my guilty pleasures. I love this series. It might even be one of my favourite josei. But it is very trashy. The relationship is a bit toxic, yeah, but I love this series. I really do. And then An Incurable Place of Love is her other series, which isn't... It's still trashy, but it's not quite as trashy. But it's Maki and Doji. It's the type of stuff she writes. And I know it's not great. And I know the writing's not great. But I like her stuff. I really do. I might be one of the few people who actually very like My Happy Marriage. Sugar Princess is a ice skating manga. It's only 2 volumes. It's the author of Hanakimi, which I used to have all of in the singles, but I sold it because I read 9 volumes and just never continued it. But I'm interested in maybe getting the omnibuses because they take up less space. Snow White with the Red Hair, 1 to 25. I think 26 has just come out. I think the series has just come off hiatus. It's a fantasy shoujo, which is more like slice of life than like high fantasy or anything like that. It's like very slow going as well. And then My Coworker Has a Sequel, which is a funny short josei series. And then we have Rinne, 1 to 6, Rumiko Takahashi, Mao, 1 to 16, which is not up to date because I think 18's out. This is probably her most similar series to Inuyasha, and I do enjoy it. Cheeky Brat 1 to 9, and I do have 10 as well. And Stray Cat and Wolf 1 to 3, Mint Chocolate 1 to 11. This one also is a bit trashy, but I really like it. It is step siblings though, so if you're not into that, maybe give this one a miss. Here's the manga for your former, and I do employ everybody to pick this one up and give it a read. Even if it's just this first volume. I want this. Where's the rest? Where is the rest, Gem Press? This volume came out last year and we still don't have the second one. Where is it? This is brilliant. This is fantastic. It's a sci-fi mystery. And it's excellent. Just everyone pick this up and read it. You won't be disappointed. I really love the dynamic between the characters too. And which is why I really want to read the right novel, because the Empress isn't giving me the second volume. It's a travesty. And then we have Shinobi Life Volume 1. This one was good. I would like to continue it. Moving on behind Anya and Bonya. Anya and Bond. We have Noragami 1 to 26. 27 is the final volume, and that one will be out in December. This is one of the series I've been reading the longest, probably, along with like Seraph at the End and a couple of other ones, but the series is finally ending. I do the art. You can see the improvement of the artwork between Origami and Alive, which is Adachi Toki's previous series that she did there's two of them, did the art to before Noragami, and you can see how their art has evolved and gotten a lot better. Yeah, I really like Noragami. I like Alive too, but we only got 8 volumes in English, and then Kodansha bought Dore and it became digital only. I have the first 7. But yeah, the guy who did that sadly passed after completing the series. He was writing the final volumes in his hospital bed, and he managed to get it finished before he passed. But yeah, it is his only work, and Adachi Toki did the artwork and then moved on to Noragami. Then we have the first 5 volumes of Tagami Baki. I did enjoy that. It's like a shonen battle-esque adventure series about a young boy who wants to be like a postman. The art is very good, and I really like the covers. ID Invaded, that is the sequel / spin-off to the anime. I would recommend definitely watching the anime before picking the manga up though. Then there is Grand Green Orchestra, which is Karuyuki. I've only got the first one, and the first volume of Everyone's Getting Married. Next is Honey Lemon Soda 1 to 5. Really like this one. It's like a cute shoujo romance with some drama thrown in. Lovesick Eri 1 to 12. This is another one of my favourites. I love Lovesick Eri. I love the comedy. I love how perverted Eri is without being sexualized. She's perverted, but she's not sexualized, which is very good. I love this one. It's great. Then we have Daytime Shooting Star 1 to 12. This is complete. I haven't read 4 yet. That's just why it's over there. I do have it. I just haven't. It's just in the TBR section. Then Tsubaki Child Lonely Planet. I do really love this one too. It's the same person. I think for this one I probably prefer over this one. And then Spy Family 1 to 11. Everyone knows what Spy Family is. Here we have Imadoki 1 to 5 complete. That is Uwatase's Slice of Life high school romance series. Very dramatic for 5 volumes. A lot happens. Older shoujo did tend to have a lot of drama though. Then Sarah Celestial Legends 1 to 14 complete. This is like a horror-esque. It's not horror by my standards, but it's probably horror by somebody's standards. It's considered horror anyway. It's more fantasy. She is the reincarnation of the celestial maiden Ceres, and her brother is the reincarnation of Ceres' lover, who now wants to kill her. And yeah, it's a good series. And then we have Alhao X Machine Gun. This is like my only sports series I own. It's like airsoft, so like BB guns and stuff like that. It's very good. The ending was predictable, but I really like the characters, and I would recommend this one. It is good. And then we have Leo and the Fairy 1 to 4. That's complete for the manga, the light novel. It's being released in English now, but it's digital only, which is disappointing, really. I've wanted to read that light novel for years, and then they released it digital only. And it's J-novel club as well, so I highly doubt we'll get physicals. And then Golden Japanesque 1 to 5. That's up to date. I have no idea what's happening with that series because we haven't had a volume in years, and EM Press has said now about it. Then this is one of my favourite shonen series. This is Inspector 1 to 19. Not up to date anymore because 20 is out, and I thought I had it, but I didn't. Yeah, this is a mystery supernatural series revolving around a college student called... Well, she's in high school in volume 1, she's in college in the rest of it. Called Kotoko, and she is like the goddess of wisdom for the monsters. because when she was 11, she was kidnapped and they took her her leg and her eye and made her into their goddess of wisdom. It's very good. And she is dating this guy called Kuro, who has the powers of 2 yokai, who he ate as a child. Then, the record of a fallen vampire 1 to 9 is complete. This is Kyoshi Wadaya, same as Inspector. Different artist, though. This is vampires, and it's very good. Even with the weird bit that happened in volume. Even with the weird premise. I like the past and the way that they go about the past and learning about what happened in the past rather than what's currently happening in the present. But yeah, I did like it. And then this is also Kyoshi Wadaya. This is Spiral 1 and 2. This is also another different artist. I don't think Kyoshi Wadaya uses the same artist more than once. But yeah, I've only read 2 volumes, but it's a mystery. Then we have Love of Kill, 1 to 13. This has a 14th volume of like extras in it, which I hope we get someday, but probably not. But yeah, this is like josei romance with like hitmen and assassins. And then Associate Professor Akira Tasatsuki's Conjecture 1 to 3. That is mystery josei supernatural-esque series. It's good. Moving on, these next 6 shelves are only singly stacked because of their bigger volumes. So here we have Inuyasha, which is my favourite shonen series ever. I've only read 9 volumes of the omnibuses, but I have watched the complete anime twice. I was obsessed with this series when I was like 14, 15. I wrote down every single episode chapter. I wrote down every single manga chapter. I wrote down character profiles. I did weapon profiles. This is the first series I ever watched AMVs for. This is the first series I ever read fanfiction for. I was just obsessed with it. I actually still have all those books that I wrote shit down in somewhere. Yeah, I absolutely adored it. It's waned from the top spot now, but it's still a 10 out of 10 for nostalgia. King the Mirror and Others Tales is Rumiko Takahashi's short stories. Mermaid Saga is a horror series. So again, it's not really horror by my standards, but my tolerance for horror is quite high. It is good though. I like to keep authors together, but when it's different sizes, I tend to try and put them sort of in the same vicinity. Most of the time. Even though in the Korean Moonlit Dusk is here and not there. But Alice in Borderland, that's complete at 9. Great series. Netflix show is great too. Karun 1 to 6. I've just ordered 7. Great series as well. The mystery's great. Still don't fully get what's going on though. 4 shoujo stories. This is like probably the rarest volume in my collection. This was published by Viz Media in... Let's see. This was published by Viz Media in February 1996. This is the first shoujo manga that was ever released in English in an omnibus. Obviously, these 4 manga were released in English previously in like the skinny single chapter, like comic-like formats. But then this was the first time it was released in like a tankobon format, with these 4 put together into one book. So yeah, these were the first shoujo manga to ever be released in English, which is strange because Promise, The Change Ring, and Since You've Been Gone are all josei. They Were 11 is the only shoujo that's actually in here. Yeah, it's called 4 shoujo stories. But Viz wasn't actually allowed to print this because they had the license to these 4 series, but they didn't have permission from Shueisha or who owns these in Japan to print them together in an omnibus, especially since the authors are all different. So not long after this was released, it had to be pulled from shelves and removed from circulation. So the print run of this didn't last very long at all. It only ever got 1 printing. It was pulled from shelves within like, I think, a month of release because of the licensing issues. And therefore it became extremely hard to get a hold of because it wasn't allowed to be sold anymore because Viz messed up with the licensing. So yeah, this is extremely hard to get a hold of. I found it on eBay and I only paid like £10 for it, which was very good. But there's like, yeah, it's got those 4. They Were 11 was definitely the best stories in here. And when, what's the name? Demper gets around to releasing it, I will definitely pick it up because it has the sequel in there as well, and this didn't include the sequel. But yeah, it's a piece of history. It's the first shoujo manga ever released in English in like a tankobon format. Then we have Pup Opposites Attract. Fantastic. Loved it. So cute. Reliving My Life as a Boyfriend Who Doesn't Remember Me. This one was also excellent. I Don't Know How to Give Birth is an autobiography about this woman's journey through pregnancy and IVF and stuff. Aqua and Bambi it was okay. It got a bit boring halfway through. I might give it a second volume. Our One More Step Comes Down By My Side is a collection of short stories. Some are better than others. Summertime Rendering, I need to get more of. I really enjoyed this first volume, but I only have 1. In the Kuruma, it does go on to 6, I already mentioned. I haven't got 7 yet, but this is very good. Shibanban, super cute doggies. It's just cute. In Japan, there's an app. It's kind of similar to WhatsApp. It's called Line, where you can text on it. But this Line has like emojis, and these dogs are emojis from Line, and this is just a manga about them. It was okay. It was just dogs doing cute things in 4-panel format. Monotone Brew. This is a BL, but I keep it here with this author's other work rather than having it on the BL shelf. It's like a cat and a lizard, and then over on the other side is short stories revolving around different animal couples. Not all of them romantic. Then we have The Walking Cat, A Cat's Eye View of the Zombie Apocalypse. This is a cat's eye view of the zombie apocalypse. It's exactly what it says. Then we have Carnival Volume 1. This is a josei fantasy. I like the anime. Lord Hades' Ruthless Marriage 1 and 2. This is complete at 3. And then Twinkle Stars 1. This is the author of Fruits Basket, which is on the next shelf. Here we have what I like to refer to as my Fruba Shrine. I know there's more than Fruits Basket on this shelf, but I couldn't leave the rest of the shelf empty. But yeah, this is my Fruba Shrine. We have plushies, pot figures, Nendroids, Kyo, a rice ball, some acrylics, some stones, some badges, some keyrings, some everything. Yeah, I love Fruits Basket, as you can probably tell. Everyone needs a Fruba Shrine. It's a requirement. So here it is, Fruits Basket 1 to 12. I'm pretty sure everyone knows what Fruits Basket is. I don't really need to explain it, but it's my favourite. I love it. And here we have Fruits Basket Another, which is okay. I liked Another. I didn't like the Three Musketeers stuff they shoved into Volume 4. Up the top we have the Fruits Basket anime art books, the Japanese ones, 1 to 3. Then we have the art cards, which came with the DVDs. This is Fruits Basket Mysteries Uncovered the Secret of the Somas. This is an unofficial book, like guide book, fan book. It's unofficial, and some of the information in it is incorrect. So yeah, it's good to have as a Fruits Basket item, but I wouldn't recommend it as a proper fan book because some of the information in there is incorrect, and it is based off the manga and not the anime, so it doesn't have the excuse that it was from the original anime either, and that's why the information is incorrect, because it mentions stuff that only happens in the manga. It just doesn't, it just gets the things wrong, like the stuff with Kyo's grandfather and stuff, Kazuma's grandfather and stuff like that, which it gives wrong information, but it is still a cool thing to have. If we move Hatsuharu's fat head out the way, we have the Cat fan book and also the Banquet fan book. These are official ones. That is the sampler that came with the Banquet one. Then we have the sticker collection and the Prana, and then the anime artworks in the English edition. I double dipped because I already had the Japanese ones when they announced this, and I wanted to be able to read the comments. Then this is the DVDs and Hatsuharu. and Totori and Toru. This was given to me for free. I ordered these 2 little pins here off of Vinted, and the seller just threw this in for free. Which that's amazing. This is like a whole keyring, and I was given it for free. That's awesome. I also bought these badges off the same seller. So yeah, shout out to that seller for giving me a free Toru. That was very nice of her. Then we have How I Met My Soulmate 1 to 3. This is up to date, I think. I was volume 4 out. Secretly, I've been suffering about being sexless. This is another autobiography about a woman who's in a sexless marriage, and she's trying to convince her husband to have sex with her in all the wrong ways instead of just talking to him about it. And then we have Perfect World 1 to 12. That's complete. I really love the series. Like, the middle dips a bit, but overall, this is an amazing series. I would recommend it, especially if you want something with disability representation in it, which doesn't shy away from all the hard stuff, including like stuff to do with going for a poo. That is also included in this. And then we have Ice Guy and his cool female colleague, or Ice Guy and the Cool Girl as the manga's known as, 1 to 4. That is not up to date. I think we have 7 out now. I've fallen quite behind, but it is very cute. This is the horror shelf. It's not completely horror because everything on this shelf is horror, but some stuff on this shelf is not on this shelf because some horror won't fit on the shelf because it's in a smaller edition, or it just won't fit. But everything on the shelf is horror, but not all my horror is on this shelf, is what I'm trying to say, basically. So first is The Drifting Classroom by Kazuo Umez. Then Orochi by Kazuo Umez. Then a shit ton of Junji Ito. But up here we have Ibitsu, which is a horror one-shot. It was good. Happiness 1 and 2. I need to get more of this. I really like these first 2 volumes. I just haven't got around to it yet. Then we have Tomie, Uzumaki, Gyo, Shiver, Frankenstein, Smashed, Love Sickness, Deserter, Tombs, Suichi, Ari, Fragments of Horror, Venus in the Blind Spot, Romina, Censor, Mimi's Tales of Terror, Black Paradox, Criminal Zone, No Longer Human, Museum of Terror, and The Dissolving Classroom, all by Junji Ito. The only Junji Ito manga I don't have is the cat one, like the Cat Diaries one, which is not actually a horror, it's a comedy. But then we have Shibuya Goldfish 1 to 3. This is not complete. It's about giant goldfish who eat people. And then My Name is Shingo and The Cat-Eye Boy also. Kazuo Umez. This one was not my favourite, but it was okay. I probably will get the second one, but I'm not in any hurry to, because out of Kazuo Umez's series, this one is probably my least favourite. But yeah, can you tell I like Junji Ito? Also, little Kotoko is very cute, and she's here because she won't fit on top of Inspector because she's too tall, so I put her underneath it. But I love her as a main character. Again, she's perverted, but she's not very sexualized. She's great. I love her one-liners with the things she says. She sits there. Same with Rianha. He sits here because he won't fit on top of other kills, so I put him underneath it, which put him on the horror shelf. But he kind of fits on the horror shelf. He is a pit man after all. And she kind of fits too because she's deals with the supernatural. Lupin doesn't though. Lupin's just random. I also put the Tokyo Ghoul and Androids there because I used to have it, but I unrolled it. Down. Here we have some blind box figures. I've really been into blind box figures recently. I've really been into the Pop Mart ones. My Pop Mart ones used to be on the bookshelves, but I've moved them elsewhere now. But my non-Pop Mart ones are still here, so I got these 2 from Vinted. They're very cute. She's like a goat girl. I think she's called Mimia. Yeah, I haven't been able to find her anywhere other than secondhand, but I had to get these because they were just adorable. But she looks very cute from this angle, but if you look at her from this angle, she looks very pissed off, and I find that super amusing. So you go from cute to pissed off. From cute to pissed off. And then we have, enough with Mimia, we have Stargazing Dog. This is a one-shot, a sad one-shot. It's the story of a dog and his owner, and the story of how they came to be dead in a car, basically. Which is not a spoiler. The series starts with the police finding this abandoned car in a field, and they look inside and they find 2 bodies. That of a man who's been dead for a year and a dog who's been dead for 6 months. And it's kind of the story of how they came to be there, told from the dog's perspective, because obviously the dog did live 6 months longer than what the guy did. It is very sad. And if you don't like sad dog stuff, I would not recommend it. And then we have Made in Abyss 1 to 11. That's not complete, nor is it up to date. Made in Abyss is, the story's good. The way the author draws the children is not good. But if you can look past the weird sexualization of 11, 12-year-olds, the story itself is good. Just be warned that that is in there. It's not as prominent in the anime as it is in the manga. The manga, it is more prominent. Then we have number 6. This should be on the BL shelf because this is a BL. It's a sci-fi action BL, but it's still a BL. And it should be on the BL shelf, but I don't know why it's not on the BL shelf, because without thinking, my brain just put it here. And now it's staying here because I have Nendroids. And I can't fit any more Nendroids on the BL shelf. But yeah, I have Rat and Shion up here. But yeah, no, it's a BL. It should be with the BL. It's not because it won't fit. And because Nendroids, and because I just randomly put it here without thinking one day and it stayed. Very good though. I liked it enough to buy Rat and Shion. They have to strip the flesh. This is good. Short story collection with different short stories. The main short story in this is about a trans man, and that one was probably the best one. It's very good. Give it a read. I did read it for the Pride Readathon, not last year. I think it was 3 years ago now that I read this. I read it digitally first because I needed to read something with a trans character in it for one of the prompts, and I couldn't find it physically because it was out of stock, so I read it digitally, and then liked it, so bought it physically when I found it. Although this spine is horribly misaligned. This is supposed to not have a yellow strip down it. Mermaid Scales in the Town of Sand is a Josei one-shot. It's good, I liked it. Then we have Kai Tanabe, Island in a Puddle 1 to 5. This is good. These are like mystery thrillers sort of series, but then Erased is his most famous one. I have the first 2. I haven't been rushing to continue it because I have seen the anime, so I do know how it ends. Which with a mystery series and knowing how it ends, it kind of takes away a bit of the enjoyment. Normally I'm fine with knowing the ending, but when it's a mystery, I kind of prefer not to. But yeah, I still will finish it. And then for The Kid I Saw in My Dreams 1 to 11, this is complete. I do think Erase is probably my favourite, and then maybe this one. And here we have some more blind box figures. These ones I did get new. So these ones I bought confirmed. These ones I bought... So these ones I bought not knowing what ones they were, so these are the 2 I ended up getting. She's called Sori, and she's by Row Life, which is the same company that does the Nancy ones. I don't really like the Nancy ones because I don't really like the Snot Bubble, but I do like these ones. And next up is My Lovesick Life as a 90s Otaku. This is complete, 4 volumes. Then we have this I got as a free gift when I bought the Mimias. Don't know what it is, but it's from a blind box. Here is Doubt. This is a horror. This is what I mean about not all horror being on the horror shelf. But this is very good, if you can find it. But Judge and Secret are the sequels. I haven't read those ones, but I really like this. My Brain is Different. Stories of ADHD and Other Developmental Disorders. This is another... It's not an autobiography because it's written by one person, but she's telling other people's stories that they have sent in to her. It's very good. I would recommend it. Then we have Don't Call It Mystery, one of my favourite joseis, if not my most favourite josei. 1 to 8, and I do have 9 and 10, but my sister's currently borrowing it and reading it, so that is not currently on the shelf, but I do have it, and I have read it. And then we have Children of the Whales 1 to 23. This is complete. I recently moved my key rings onto the top just to make it look nice. Basically, this is a great fantasy shoujo series, and I would recommend it. It's very good. And the artwork is amazing. This is some of the most amazing artwork I've ever seen in a manga. Some people might disagree and think, oh, this artwork's better, but I really like this artwork. And especially the front covers, and especially the hands. I've never seen such nice hands in a manga. This, Abi Umeda knows how to draw hands. Abi Umeda does have other series that she has done before Children of the Whales that I would like to see English releases of, but I doubt we ever will get them because this series was published in Mystery Botanica, and we've only ever gotten 3 series from Mystery Botanica published in English, this being one. This was probably only published because of the anime. The other one was Carrie, and then there was one other one, but I think it was called Musashi No. 9. But yeah, Mystery Botanica is like a shoujo magazine that could focus more on like mystery horror series. But we don't tend to, as I say, we only have 3 series from that magazine in its entire publication in English. So I highly doubt we'll get her other series which are also published in that magazine. Then River Matsunaga-san 1 to 11, and this is kind of like a staircase at one point. Like, it goes up and then down. Kodansha did that. But yeah, it's a age gap, living in the same house sort of romance. I enjoyed it, but if you don't like age gaps, don't read it. These are my sweep elves. I got these in Leeds. You might have seen if... Well, I did my shopping vlog for Leeds. I showed these in the shopping vlog, but I didn't show what ones I got. But these are the ones I got, if you were curious, after watching that video. They are very nice. I do like these sweep elves. And over here, we have Fushigi Yugi along with Tamahome, who I have in front here. Iwatashi's most famous series. It's like one of the original isekai. Then I have A Sign of Affection 1 to 9. I think 10 has just come out, so I don't know if that's up to date anymore. I also have these these boards that I found on Vinted. Ever since discovering Vinted, I found a bunch of cool stuff on there. Yeah. Sign of Affection boards. Very nice. And then we have BL Metamorphosis. This is about a female friendship between a 17-year-old girl and an old lady who's in her 80s, and they bond over BL because they both like reading it. Although it is about BL manga, it itself is not a BL manga, which is why it's here, because it's about 2 women having a friendship. But it's not. It itself is not a BL manga. It just has a BL manga characters in it that like BL manga, but it itself is not a BL manga, if you know what I mean. I also have my Love and Deep Space acrylics here. Cyrus is my favourite, if you were wondering. And then we have To Eternity 1 to 19. I think 20 just came out, but the series is still going. We've had the current arc end in Volume 19 and Volume 20 starting a new arc, and I don't know how much longer it's going on for, but I think the series is getting to the point where it just needs to end. And here's my Happy Marriage Nendos and some acrylics, which I got in Japan. Not the Nendos, the acrylics. And there's some more. These are like acrylic bookmarks of Love and Deep Space. Didn't have Cyrus in that one though, which is a shame. Walking back over here. It gets a bit dark down here, so I hope you can see. That is Deadman Wonderland. That is 1 to 13 complete. That is a horror action series. Very gory, very bloody. I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people didn't like the ending, but I thought it was okay. Apologies for the darkness in this corner. I can't make it any lighter. I don't have a light source with me right now. Then we have Astro Lost in Space 1 to 5 complete. That's a very good short shonen series. I would recommend it. Give it a go. And then behind Hack and Yona, we have Waiting for Spring 1 and 2. I have finished that series digitally, but I haven't finished it physically yet. I've read it all online back when everything was out of stock, and I read the first one and I wanted to finish it and they didn't have it, so I just read it all digitally. One of the only series I did that for. And then there's another hack over here. And then we have Moriarty. Focus, please. It's focusing on Hack and Yona, so I might have to put the camera behind Hack and Yona. Moriarty the Patriot, Volume 1. I like the anime. It's another mystery series. Portus, which is a 1-volume horror about a video game. Honeyblood is about a vampire. It's completed too. There is a prequel though. Voiceover Sailor Academy and then Special A are by the same person. I do like Special A. I like the anime, but I can't find any more. This is here because I run out of, I don't know where, it's too big to stand up on the shelf, but it is Hack and Yona. I made it with a printer and some card. Then we have LDK, Living Dining Kitchen. That's an older shoujo title. Not Your Idol 1 and 2. This has recently come off hiatus, and Viz Media has confirmed that they will be releasing Volume 3. So that's great. It's coming back. I did very enjoy it as well. That's Skip Beat 1 to 3, the first omnibus. I picked up the second omnibus in Reads. I haven't read it yet though. Then we have Hack Drowning in a Glass of Water. And I also made this. It's just a piece of card with I printed the picture out and just stuck some decorations on it. And then we have Laughing Under the Clouds. That is a shoujo action historical series with some fantasy elements. Very good. Not your typical shoujo. It's not a romance at all. It feels a bit more shonen-y, but it's not. It's great. And then Maid Sama is Maid Sama. I have the first 2 omnibuses. And now Hona and Yak won't stand up. And then these I found on a website called Anime Secondhand, which these are very cute. You have the characters as a wolf, a fox and a dog, a deer, a mouse and a cat, and then Yona is a rabbit. And then Zeno I got in Japan because I killed him. Wait, should we read the manga? No, that's not possible. But yeah. Zeno. And next, here is Yona of the Dawn. Volumes 1 all the way to 41, up to date. My sister is borrowing 24 and 25. Because she's currently reading through the series and they're the 2 volumes she's on. So I do have them, she's just borrowing them right now. And then we have A Reincarnated Witch Spells Doom, 1 to 4. This is a very good series. One of the few isekai I enjoy. Great series. I would recommend this one. And I think I'm going to do this shelf before I scoot along on my arse to do the next one. The back of these bottom shelves is Tora volumes, which makes these ones stick out, but you can't tell so much because it's the bottom. If I move Menma, you will be able to see all my steamship. This is where I keep all my degenerate smut. So we have Outbride 1 to 5, Game 1 to 4, Crown Princess 1 to 3, which is complete. There is a sequel though. Rain is on Top is complete as well. That's 1 to 6. I Can't Refuse S 1 to 3. Revenge Mrs. Long. My Boss is a Giant. That's a complete omnibus. Before You Discard Me, I Shall Have My Way With You. I have volume 2. It's in my TBR cart. Hero for the Shadow Hero 1 for 2. Loved by Two Fiancés 1, and that is all my steamship. I did have the Villainess and the Demon Knight, but I didn't like that one, so I unhauled it. Then we have The Secret of Friendship, which is a shoujo one-shot about friendship. 15 Minutes Before We Marry Date, which is a super cute, wholesome romance. Marmalade Boy is complete. That's an old classic shoujo. And then Wake Up Sleeping Beauty 1 to the ending, which I think 6. That's very good, by the author of A Condition Called Love, but much better than A Condition Called Love in my opinion. Then we have Aosaki Saka's Ao Haru Ride, Love Me Not, and Sakura Saku. I don't have Strobe Edge because I can't find Volume 6. So yeah, I have these ones. Very good. I like Aosaki Saka. I think Love Me Not might be my favourite. Then Osama Teacher 1 and 2. This is like a comedy shoujo by the same creator as Monthly Girls no Zakuri-kun, which is one of my favourite shonen. I love this. It's so good. It's like takes the piss out of shoujo tropes, and it's very good. You do kind of need to have read some... Nozaki-kun is a shonen, but it is written by a person who usually writes shoujo, and you do kind of need to know shoujo tropes to get the jokes, or to like get some of them anyway, because it is taking the piss out of shoujo's typical tropes, so it is very good. Would recommend. I think 15's just come out. Then we have Yamada 1 and 2, very good. Bride of the Barrier Master 1 and 2. I think both of these volumes of... I think this volume ends at the same place where volume 1 of the light novel does, from what I've gathered by reading the description of the next volume and the light novel. And then Her Majesty's Dog, which was okay. It's volume 1. I will put the polar bear back now that I'm done with that job. Because Use is in that corner. Now we have... I made this one. This one's for Library Wars. Do I still have that? I didn't even know I still had Dimension W. It was hidden behind Library Wars. Yeah, that is a sci-fi series which I thought I'd unhauled, but apparently I haven't. It's there. It was just hidden and I didn't even know I still had it. Well, I do, and it's there. It glows in the dark, which you wouldn't know because it's hidden behind Library Wars, but it does. Then we have a Silent Voice 1 to 7 complete. I like that. I like the movie too. It's good. Then another one of my favourite series ever, Library Wars 1 to 15 complete. I love Library Wars. It is excellent. It's about a war on censorship, basically. There's this committee called the Media Betterment Committee, and they want to like censor books. And the library task force like goes around and saves these books and puts them in the library where people can come read them completely uncensored and unchanged. And it's kind of like, it's a war. It's like a full-scale war going on over book censorship. So the library task force is fighting a war against the Media Betterment Committee, and there's actual scenes of these soldiers going against each other and these soldiers getting crushed at one point over books. But I don't know, maybe I would go to war over a manga. Probably not though. But yeah, it's great, it's fantastic. It's like kind of still relevant because of books censorship still being like a big talking point right now. But yeah, it was an older series, but it's out of print. But I love it. It's amazing. And if you can get your hold of it, I would highly recommend it. It's also a romance as well, between EQ and Dojo. And it's also based off a novel. And there's also 2 live-action dramas and an anime adaptation. The anime's okay, but it's not as good as the manga. The manga's just great. There's also a sequel series, which we never got in English, which is disappointing, because I would read the hell out of that. So maybe I'll pick it up in Japanese, just so I can look at the nice pictures and wonder what they're saying. Then we have the case study of Vanitas 1, 2. Oh, sorry, Volpix. I didn't mean to cause you an avalanche. 1 to 10. And that is up to date. I like Vanitas. It's steampunk French vampires. And if that doesn't pique your interest, I don't know what will. Then we have Pandora Hearts 1 to 4. I love the box set for this, but they don't sell it in the UK unless you can spell it. Unless you pay ridiculous scalper prices on eBay, which I am not doing. But yeah, Yen Press re-released it, but they re-released it in the US only, which is disappointing because it's a very nice box. Then we have Horimiya 1-3 behind Ninetales and Ni, which is the same artist. It's just a one-shot. I'll put 4 pics back. Then we have Inobaka Crazy for Dogs, which is a seinen series about working in a pet shop. And it has some funny moments, and it has some sad moments, and it's incomplete in English. I haven't even got the full English run because 17 is the last one that they released in English. And then 18 to 22 we never got in English. Which is kind of disappointing because I'll never be able to finish the series because I don't even think this is translated online. It's that obscure, but the dogs are drawn very cute in this. It is some fan service which is very unnecessary in a series about dogs, but it's there, but you can kind of ignore it. And then we have Kaguya-sama Lover's War 1 to 28. This is complete. It's a great series. It's a rom-com seinen series. Very good. I would recommend it. It is 28 volumes though. And then down here, behind the Blackpool Tower, we have Wotakoi 1 to 6. That's complete. Something's Wrong With Us up to 19, which is the main series and the 3 side stories. This is very good. This is another favourite josei of mine. It's like romance with mystery and intrigue and awesome stuff, and they make sweets. It's so good. It's amazing. I would highly recommend it. And then we have Doomsday with My Dog, which was okay. I'm keeping it because it's a dog manga, but I don't know if I'm going to continue it. Haru's Curse, which is like about a sister who, after her sister's death, ends up getting in a relationship with her sister's fiance. It's quite good. Then Cells at Work and Cells at Work Black. This is complete. This is also complete at 8. And then another kind of medical one, which is why I kind of put them together, is Little Miss P 1 to 4. It's about a sentient period. It's quite interesting. It's also quite interestingly written by a man. Which you wouldn't think a manga about periods would be written by a man, but it is. So we have this big, like, pink monstery thing who is a period, and she comes every month, and it's an interesting read. Here we have Tokyo Aliens 1 to 4. This series is stiff. And I don't mean the story, I mean the volumes are very stiff to open and it can be a bit difficult. And yeah, it's okay. I bought it because it's by the author of Aoharu X Machine Gun. And I liked Aoharu X Machine Gun. This one's okay. It's like a typical battle shonen but it's aliens. I haven't continued past 4 yet though. I may or may not. Then we have the Apothecary Diaries 1 to 2. I've watched the anime, so I do know past this, but I've only read the first 2. Orange, the Complete Correction 1, 2, and then Future and 2 Dear 1. There is a box set out for Orange, and the volumes look a lot nicer than these, but I think I'm just going to stick to these since I already have them. I'm not that bothered about picking up the box set, especially when I already have these ones, even if the box set does look nicer. Then we have The Girl on the Other Side, volumes 1 to 12. This is complete. 11 is the end of the main story. 12 is a side stuff. This is a good series. It's a little bit strange. The ending can be a bit hard to grasp, but it is a very good series, and I would recommend this. There is a short anime as well. I should get to watching that. My Girlfriend's Child 1 to 5. This is brilliant. I absolutely love it. Amazing series. It's just finished at 10 volumes. I thought 9 was the final volume, but they just showed not that long ago that volume 10 is the final volume. But I think 10 might be side stories. By looking at the cover and stuff, I think 10 might be side stories. I don't know. But 10 is the final volume, so we are halfway through the English release here. Then we have Fire in His Fingertips, which is Steamship now. It used to be Ghost Ship, but since the Steamship line was made, it switched over to the Steamship line. I don't know when 5's out. It's been ages. But this series literally has no plot. It is just sex. Which I'm not complaining about. But there is no plot. Then we have Day Report About My Witch Senpai. It's very cute. Wholesome. Josei office. No, it's not Josei, it's Shoujo. Shoujo office romance with a witch. Then we have What He Doesn't Believe in Fate Says, 1 to 3. I was disappointed in volume 3, but I'm still going to finish it because it's only 5 volumes. Then we have Here's Julia Richards manga. Everything on this shelf is yellow. I don't know if that's because it's on this shelf or because I just happen to put everything that's yellow on this shelf. Then My Happy Marriage 1 to 4. This is the adaptation of the light novel. We are yet to get to the end of the second volume of the light novel in the manga adaptation. Then Lonely Castle in the Mirror 1 to 3. This is great. I read volume 3 recently, but I adore this series. And it's only 5 volumes. And once I read volume 5, I'm going to pick up the novel and then I'm going to look for the movie, which I can't find anywhere, but I'm going to find it because I really want to watch it. Even if I have to import the DVD from Australia, because that's the only place that seems to have it. It's great, though. And then, behind our Kanto starters, we have Seraph at the End, Goran Ichinose, Catastrophe at 16. That's a light novel, but I keep it with the manga because it's a prequel. Then Resurrection at 19, which I think was cancelled after 2 volumes. I don't know. It says complete on Anime Planet, but it's not complete, so I'm guessing it was cancelled. Then we have the manga adaptation of Goran Ichinose, Catastrophe at 16, which isn't quite as good as the light novel, mainly because they added extra fan service that wasn't in the light novel, from what I can remember. And then we have the main series, which is 1 to 29. I think 30's out now as well. I do like Seraph at the End. It's there. Then we have Caterpillar Girl and Bad Texture Boy, which is it's a kind of a romance slice of life supernatural series, and it's quite sad considering the title. It's about, and the plot, this girl fancies this boy. She thinks she's too good for him, so she turns herself into a caterpillar so she's less perfect and so he might like her more. But despite that, it's not a comedy. It is quite sad. Then we have, this is, I can't bloody see a thing. Songs to Make You Smile, that is by the author of Fruits Basket. It is short stories. Wolf for Dessert is a josei smut series by a company called Love Love Press that does no longer exist. And then Angels of Death Volume 1, which is an adaptation of a RPG Maker horror game. And here we have Imakoi 1 to 9 complete. Wolf Girl and Black Prince 1 to 6. This is not up to date. I think we've got 9 out in English now. But these are the same creator. A Brief Moment of Ichika. This is about a girl who is given a year to live, but 2 years later she's still alive, and she meets this teacher and he disappears from her college and now she's looking for him again. It's only 3 volumes. She's got this incurable disease, but she's outlived her expected lifespan, so she's basically living on borrowed time. Then we have Virgin Love 1 and 2. I have 3. I haven't read it. It's in the cart. Sensei's Pious Lie 1 to 4 complete. Then we have, this is kind of Shuzo Oshimi-esque, but written by a woman and about sexual assault and rape and the effects that has on someone. And also this guy who's an absolute arsehole. And then we have A School Frozen in Time 1 to 4. This is complete. This is by the same author as Lonely Castle in the Mirror and the 2 light novels I showed earlier. Different artist though. Imperfect Girl. This is a bit of a weird one. It's good though. It's about a guy who witnesses this little girl do something that a little girl normally wouldn't do. And so she sees that he's witnessed it. And so she kidnaps him and locks him in her cupboard. He is a college student who's like 19, 20 years old. She is like 7. And she somehow managed to kidnap this adult man as a 7-year-old girl and lock him in her cupboard. And he just chooses to stay there. It's a bit strange, but yeah. It was supposedly based on true events, according to Nishio Ishin, who wrote this, but I highly doubt that's true, because it's just so absurd. Then we have The God's Lie, which is a one-shot by Kaoru Ozaki, The Golden Sheep by Kaoru Ozaki, and then Mermaid Prince by Kaoru Ozaki. These two are seinen, this one is shoujo. I like Kaoru Ozaki. And then we have Blood on the Tracks 1 to 6, which is another Shuzo Osimi title that I do enjoy, but I haven't got around to getting more yet. And Last Shelf. I think this is all. I don't think there's anything else other than the card. Behind Pikachu, we have Robo Sapiens, which is a sci-fi series. Ascension Doctor of the Moonflower Kingdom 1, 2, 5. I think 7 is out. I have ordered 6. Hatsune Mix. This is like an unofficial Vocaloid manga, just random short stories. Boys Abyss 1 to 4. I've ordered 5. Ran in the Grey World 1 to 7. This is like fantasy, witchy, magical, whimsical stuff. Just, it is an age gap, but it's a very bad age gap, but just don't worry about it, because after the first couple of volumes it kind of just peters out a bit. It's more about the little girl and the magical stuff. And then we have Insomniac After School 1 to 5. I think 7 is out, or 6. I do like that one. My Gemini, which is a one-shot shoujo about not what I expected. Yeah, there's twins and one dies, and this little guy is the only one who could like tell them apart, and it's like which one died and which one's still alive. But it's more about coping with grief than it is about mystery or anything. And then we have Oku Complete 1 to the last one, 19. And I haven't read any of it yet, which is why Volume 1 is up here. And Vorpik and Gareth. And then we have Usatogi Rhetoric 1 to 7. I think 9 is out. 10 is the last one, so not too far from the ending. Tales of the Tendo Family. This is a fantasy shoujo that is compared to My Happy Marriage, but the main guy is nothing like the guy in My Happy Marriage. He's basically a dick, but it's an enjoyable story. And I've ordered the second one. Then we have the grandpa. I need to know more about this grandpa. And then No Longer Heroine 1 to 6. I think 7 might be out. My Special One 1 to 5. That is like, I think as of Volume 6 onwards we're switching to a different couple. So I think this is the end of that first couple story in these first 5 volumes. And then I have ordered the 6th one. Prince Freya 1 to 10. This is a fantasy shoujo, which I do like. It's not my favourite fantasy, but I do like it. I just don't like the blonde guy, Julian. I really don't like him. He gets on my nerves. He also was in this volume quite a bit. I prefer this guy. And then we have Kakuyo Bed Breakfast Spirits 1 to 8, and 9 is up there, and that is up to date. I really want the light novel for this one in English. We are getting a season 2 of the anime though. Whoever Steals This Book, Volume 1. That is completed 3 volumes. I think they're all out now. Hi, I'm a Witch and My Crush Wants Me to Make a Love Potion 1 to 4. That is up to date. I don't think the series is going to be too long, because it's based on a 2-volume light novel. It's very good though. Dark Metro, which is a horror. It's complete in 3 volumes, which were originally published as 2 separate volumes, but then Tokyopop never published the 3rd one, and then Tokyopop came back and published it republished them all as this omnibus. So yeah, this is the complete thing. It's about a metro station with horror elements happening to it. And then We Can't Do Just Plain Love, which is smut. Very good smut. This is great. All that's left is the cart. So up here we have Daytime Shooting Star 4, there's a Eternal Sapper 5, Oku 1, Rink Quick Volume 2. I have read this one, I just haven't put it away yet. Therapy Game, Restart, Birds of Shangri-La, Only the Stars Know. Well, He Doesn't Breathe in Fate. There's I Hear the Sunspot, Skip Beat, Let's Do It Already. That's a new one that's comedy romance that I haven't read yet. There's Kakuyo, Cheeky Brat, Virgin Love, Medalist. Turns out my online friend is my real life boss. And then we have Before We Discard You, and 95 and Business Proposal 2, and Silent Chronicles 1 and Psychopaths 1. I recently unhauled this, but then I rehauled it because I originally got rid of it because Dark Horse only published the first 4 volumes, and there's 6 in total, and I didn't want to not finish it because there's a mystery there. But Dark Horse recently published volumes 5 and 6, so I re-grabbed it. And that is all, I think. Yeah, I definitely done all that shelf. I've definitely done all of that shelf. I definitely did all of that shelf. I also did that shelf. I also did that shelf. Yes, I think that is everything. I don't think there's manga anywhere else. Yes, I think I'm done. And yeah, that is my complete collection for the year. I'll do another one next year, and obviously, yeah. I hope you enjoyed. This video has been on almost 2.5 hours, and I filmed it all in one sitting. So yes, I'm going to go start uploading it now. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back with a haul probably at the end of the month. I have ordered stuff. Obviously, you've already seen Mars, that'll be in there, and yeah. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you again, and goodbye.